Oh.
Ray Rickman's here from Stages of Freedom. Is Rob here?
No.
Not yet. Okay. So we're going to talk to Ray, our good friend. Ray, how you doing this afternoon?
A+.
A+. Good. Good. So let's talk a little bit about Black History Month. It's February.
Okay.
We're winding down on that.
We're not winding down. This is the middle of the month.
It's middle of the
Never
month.
contradict the host.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I don't know what day it is, to be honest with you. No, it's 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it is sort of winding down. So let's talk about Black History Month. Do you think now is more important to celebrate, honor, and commemorate?
Yes.
Is it more important now than ever?
Carter G. Woodson created Black History Month mainly to uplift black folks, but also for white teachers, because white teachers, of course, knew nothing about black history, so they couldn't teach anything to black kids. And that's what he created it for. Stages of Freedom has a theory that if everybody understood, knew about, was educated about, felt something about black history, everything would change. So you might have been asking me a political question, and if you were, I can answer that.
I let you do the talking, right?
Okay, Robert Kennedy as president would be quite different from Donald Trump. Robert Kennedy got it. He understood. Later, Lyndon Baines Johnson, he came to understand. So he's the great civil rights president. So you have to understand in order to move ahead.
Here we go. So let's talk about Stages of Freedom. Congratulations on selling out your event.
Okay.
It's coming up. So
it's like really cool to have a sell-off.
I know. And so I'm saying congratulations. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So Stages of Freedom does a lot of programs for the community. So let's talk a little bit about your mission.
So the mission is to present black culture to the entire community. That's everybody. That's what we were just talking about.
To everybody, to me, to you, to children.
So every race, every gender.
Exactly.
everybody.
Me, you, children, everybody.
Because, again, whether you're talking about Du Bois or King or whoever you're talking about, they would have told you black people get neglected. And black people get neglected because white folks don't know anything or whatever. And so we're trying to correct that. That everybody, including the President of the United States, I'm picking on Mr. Trump, he didn't know that it's actually shocking.
Oh, are we going there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's come up again, but Frederick Douglass and Booker T. Washington, and he has no understanding. He's been someplace else.
Yeah.
And so he thought that he was alive. He's been dead 120 years. So we're out there. So we have a Christmas event. It's generally jazz. It was Ella Fitzgerald this year teaching. We have The Wiz this fall, October 7th. Lots of black kids will be in The Wiz, playing little people. And it will be a big production. The Wiz is a perfect example. It was created because black folks weren't taking enough interest in the real Wizard of Oz, and so a black version was created. We'll have Girls' Tea Party at the Lippert House in May. We'll have Boys Bow Tie in April. Little boys, 5 to 12. They come and learn how to tie bow tie. And someone was asking me today, what's so important about that? First, only 5% of men know how to tie bow ties.
I was going to say, these events are important for the community.
But by learning to tie a bow tie, you're set above and beyond everybody else. But separate from that, this is really about manners, and we sneak in a few things. And the lead person will be an African American who's involved with the legal system. We've had Richard Rose, we've had Casby Harrison, and you'll get to see a black man on the right side of the law. So there's a lot of subtleties going on. Rob Dimmick and I work on all of these, and they are to reach out. So like we're thrilled to be here because all kinds of people will see this and will think for a little bit, even if they don't come to an event. Now we'll have 4,000 or 5,000 people at our events this year. But now with technology and social media, there'll be 100 kids in the room for Boys Bow Tie, and 10,000 will view it.
We'll get to see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And little boys in bow ties are really quite cool.
Oh, yeah.
I even look good in a bow tie. So,
Well, and like you were saying, events like these, and I was going to ask you, and you just said it's important because not only are you getting the experience of going out, being able to be amongst friends, amongst peers, but you're getting more than just the opportunity of learning to tie a bow tie. You get so much more than that, and you think that's important.
plus, you get connected.
Exactly.
You have to put your cell phone away for almost 2 hours. I mean, that'd be a unique experience for half of these 12-year-olds. But you'd see it kind of radiates in the room. We always go to Central Congregational. The space is free and it's fabulous. For girls, tea party, we always go to Lippert House. It is the most elegant place in Providence.
Absolutely.
There are more elegant places in Newport, but anyway. And I cannot tell you how many of those little girls have never been in a setting like this. And they still have Sunday dresses, okay? Little girls still have Sunday dresses. We have to work with the little boys. You have to wear a shirt, can't put your bow tie on a whatever. We don't have to buy many clothes yet, but the way society is going. Now we're talking mainly about little black kids, and then we'll jump to swimming if you let me, but we're talking about little black kids.
Yeah, we'll go there.
And they, the whole society is less social and more social media, no offense, go over, than it has ever been.
Well, yeah, society in general is
Yes.
moving towards social media, and we were talking about that before.
And being casual and
Yeah.
not being in formal settings and not knowing where the spoons and forks go. And remember, the majority of these little kids are inner city kids, and they go to McDonald's for once in a while, but they seldom, if ever, they've never been to Capitol Grill in their life. And that's one of our little future programs, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm working with 2 restaurants, haven't got a yes yet, but to go to a real restaurant for the little boys.
I like that.
The tea party is a minor version of that.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
set up straight, dress right, handle your silverware appropriately. You know, Rob Demick meets them at the door, and you know, they come in, and it's an event. I can't even begin. Now, by the way, neither one of those events, boys' bow tie is not expensive. It costs about $2,000. We always think one donor will call us and write a check,
And
and
just
we'll
drop
be
it
done
off.
with it. I'm going to
Yeah.
go and pay $25 from. I'm not joking. It was 87 people paid for it last year, and girls last year, 61 women paid for it, and it cost $4,000 because it's costs more money. The silver service. All
Oh,
this.
yeah, for the
Oh,
people to
yeah.
come in and
Girls
just-
cost more. But anyway, oops. So we are working on this restaurant idea, but again, we can't.
So you let us know when
Yeah,
you get it
but
lined up. You
we
let us
can't
know
bring
first.
them at
Here.
$55 a kid. We've got
Oh,
to
kids menu. Fancy kids menu.
Thank you. You're helping me with the
Yes,
negotiation.
yes. Fancy kids menu. Right?
But if I could talk about swimming for just a minute.
Yeah, so let's get to that because one of your missions is to give youth of color access to swimming programs.
Yes.
And when I was checking all this out, I think that's absolutely fantastic because I think people really need to have access to that, and it's difficult.
Yes. So 80% of black people do not swim. 5 times more black teenagers drown than anyone.
And that's a scary statistic.
Oh, it's worse than scary. And then, of course, what people don't realize, see, I tell people all the time, I'm co-founder of Shape Up Rhode Island. I know things about swimming. Do you know you're 83 years old and you can barely walk? You can go swimming?
You can go swimming.
It is an unbelievable, asset.
It's good for
for
your
your-
joints. It's
and
just
your
better.
brain.
And your brain.
And
exactly.
the water lifts you up. It messes with your spirit wonderfully. I'm serious. And so swimming has a lot of attributes other than not drowning. And then, of course, now you generally can't be a firefighter unless you swim.
Yeah.
3/4 of police departments, now nurses. And so
Access to jobs, yeah, of course.
So there are all these reasons. And I repeat, black folks don't swim. And a lot of it was racial discrimination. Black folks live in the South, and the pools are segregated. But now it is the almighty dollar.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to decide whether to eat or whether to go learn
play
how
in
to
the pool, swim
They're
in the
not
pool.
play in the pool because you don't know how to swim.
Because you don't know how and you're scared.
And so you have to, it's a problem. Alan Hassenfeld, gave us $50,000.
Wow.
Because I think he felt sorry for me. We raised $31,000 last year, 388 contributions. My
Wow.
knees are scraped. And so we've set a higher goal this year. If Alan Hasenfeld's 50,000, we only have to raise 20,000. My knees will still be scraped. But we're hoping as we get exposure, as people know about this, they'll, I gotta be careful, they'll quit writing $10 checks and write $25 checks. And just go to Stages of Freedom and do it. And excuse me for being so direct, but we have about 4,000 kids we try to support this year.
4,000?
Total.
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 Wow.
When we do the Whiz in the fall, we will go to Providence Public Library. We'll do 2 performances, 800 kids, and half the seats will be given away free. So we have to raise a lot of money for the band, for the adult performers. It will cost $12,000 or $14,000 to do the Whiz. And again, I can't.
It's a big production. And fun.
It has
and
to be
worth
done
it.
right.
Yes.
We have to involve the 12 kids in it. We have to pay the kids. Now, they're only going to get $50 a piece. I'd like to pay them more, but it just drives the cost up. But it'll be $12,000 to $13,000, and that's a lot of money. But can I tell you, there will be, of those 800 people in the audience, half of them will remember it for the rest of their lives.
Oh, I bet.
You know, again, Rob Demick is a theatrical director, on and on and on. He works with children, properly degreed. And those children will get more out of it than the 20 adults. They will, because 20 adults have been on the stage before. They've done this stuff before.
And what a role model.
Yeah, and the kids will rise to the level. And he loves to put kids in productions with adults, because here are the adults here, and you're the kid, you come in here, and you got to get to here. And you got to do it in 10 days of rehearsal.
In 10
and
days.
Rehearsals fail. I can't even tell you. This is, but remember, most of what we do is to raise money for the swimming, to save the lives of these children. And then finally, if you let me say this, we were talking about swimming and all the things it does, but it also puts you in another category. That is, somebody is going to invite you to go to Nantucket because you know how to swim. If you don't know how to swim, you will not be invited to Jamestown or Block Island ever, because you're going to ruin the party or look strange because you're a non-swimmer. So this is...
It opens more doors, and children should have access to those doors.
Yes, all children. I don't know. Do I have time to say one other thing?
We have 1 minute.
So,
and then I'm kicking you out. I'm
of
kicking us both out of here.
Some of this is public policy stuff. The health department does not see this as health, even though people lose their lives over it. So some of the work we do is advocacy. We've been talking to them for 2 years. I think we have them there. And a lot of things are like that. And again, at Stages of Freedom, we're dancing every day about the work that we're doing. Thank you for letting me come.
Great. Rick, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Stages of Freedom have multiple events coming up, so if you're interested, we'll have a link on our website as well, fundraising. It's a nonprofit organization, so you're always welcome to donate if you can't make it to any of the events. And if you're interested in signing up, you can go to the website as well. So get your kids in there if you're interested in that.
Thank you.
Great. Pleasure as always. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry, my hands are freezing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. All right, everyone. Well, that wraps up our lifestyle edition of Go Local Live. Appreciate your time and joining us. Spoke with Girls on the Run Rhode Island and their mission, as well as Stages of Freedom and their mission. So thank you so much for joining us in the Navigant Credit Union broadcast.